8 major battles, 8 total victories. Hannibal Barca didn't just fight Rome, he hunted them. This is the breakdown of the ancient world's only 8-0 record. The destruction begins at the Ticinus River. The Roman defense is led by Consul Publius Cornelius Scipio. He looks at Hannibal's army, men wearing mismatched armor, riding skinny horses without saddles, and he sees nothing but a barbarian rabble. In a display of fatal arrogance, Scipio rides out with only his light infantry. He leaves his heavy legions behind. He assumes the mere sight of a Roman consul will make the enemy run. He is wrong. Hannibal unleashes the Numidians. These aren't just cavalry, they are the finest light horsemen in the world. They control their mounts with their knees, leaving both hands free to throw javelins with sniper-like accuracy. The Roman formation collapses instantly. Scipio is surrounded, wounded, and trampled in the mud. He is only saved by his teenage son, who rides into the fray to drag his dying father out. Rome dismisses this disaster as a minor skirmish. They refuse to admit that their cavalry is inferior. It is the first humiliation of many. 1 month later, Rome is angry. They send a new man to fix the mess, Consul Sempronius Longus. Unlike Scipio, Sempronius is a politician first and a general second. His term as consul is expiring soon. He needs a glorious victory now to secure his next election. Hannibal knows this. He reads Sempronius like a book. On the morning of the winter solstice, in freezing sleet, Hannibal sends a small group of riders to throw stones at the Roman camp. It's an insult, a taunt. Sempronius takes the bait immediately. He is so eager to fight that he orders his men out of bed without breakfast. He marches 40,000 soldiers into the freezing Trebia River. By the time they reach the other bank, the water is up to their chests. They are soaking wet. Hypothermia sets in within minutes. Their fingers are so numb they can barely hold their swords. And Hannibal? His men have been sleeping in. They are eating a warm breakfast by the fire. They have rubbed oil on their bodies to insulate against the cold. When the battle begins, it is not a fight. It is a massacre of frozen men. Hannibal's war elephants smash the front line. Hidden cavalry strikes the rear. 30,000 Romans die, not because they were weak, but because their leader was in a rush. June 217 BC. The terror in Rome is real. A third army is raised under Consul Gaius Flaminius. Flaminius is a man of action. He doesn't like strategy, he likes force. His orders are simple: hunt him down. He chases Hannibal through a narrow pass along the shores of Lake Trasimene. To his right, the water. To his left, steep, forested hills. Thick fog covers the ground. Flaminius assumes Hannibal is running away. He marches his army in a long, thin column. He sends no scouts. He checks no hills. The moment the last Roman soldier enters the trap, the hills come alive. 30,000 Carthaginians charge down the slope in silence. The Romans are caught in marching formation. They are smashed against the shoreline. The fighting is so intense, so primal, that the soldiers do not even notice a massive earthquake striking Italy at that exact moment. Cities are collapsing nearby, mountains are shaking, but the slaughter continues uninterrupted. Flaminius is identified by a Gallic warrior and decapitated on the spot. 15,000 dead, 15,000 captured. The lake turns red for days. August 2nd, 216 BC. Cannae. Rome stops chasing. They decide to crush this problem with pure weight. They raise the largest army in the history of the Republic, 86,000 men, 8 full legions. Their plan is simple: brute force. They pack their infantry into a massive, deep block. They are going to ram Hannibal's center and break it. Hannibal expects this. He arranges his line in a crescent, bowing outward. He places his weakest troops in the center and his elite African infantry on the wings. He is inviting the bull to charge. The battle begins. The giant Roman block smashes into the Carthaginian center. Hannibal's weak troops slowly retreat. The line bends backward, but it does not break. The Romans cheer. They think they are winning. They push harder, packing themselves tighter and tighter into the bulging pocket. They crowd so close together that the soldiers in the middle cannot lift their arms to draw their swords. They are crushed against each other by the weight of their own army. Then, the trap closes. Hannibal's elite African infantry swing in from the sides, compressing the Roman flanks. His cavalry slams into the rear. 80,000 men are completely encircled. What follows is not a battle. It is industrial-scale butchery. The Carthaginians work their way inward, hacking through the paralyzed Roman mass. The sound is deafening, the screaming of 80,000 trapped men. 600 Romans are killed every single minute. The slaughter lasts until sunset. By the end of the day, 70,000 men lie dead. Rome has lost 20% of its adult male population in a single afternoon. Hannibal collects a bushel of golden rings from the dead fingers of Roman senators. Most history books stop here. They say the war slowed down. They are lying. The killing continued, but it became stupider. In 212 BC, the Senate gives command of an army to a man named Marcus Centenius. He wasn't a general. He was a loudmouth centurion who claimed he knew the terrain. The Senate, desperate for hope, believed him. He marched 16,000 men to the Silarus River. Hannibal took one look at his amateur formation and wiped them out. Only 1,000 men escaped. Rome sacrificed an army because they believed a man who talked a big game. Before we witness the next disaster, signal your loyalty. Subscribe. That same year, at Herdonia, Proconsul Fulvius Flaccus lets his discipline rot. His soldiers are drunk, his guards are asleep. Hannibal attacks at night. Flaccus realizes he is beaten and flees on his horse, abandoning 18,000 of his own men to be butchered. 2 years later, Second Herdonia, a new proconsul, Centumalus, marches to the exact same spot. He ignores the history of the ground. He camps where the dead bodies were buried. Hannibal uses the exact same tactic. Another 13,000 dead. It is a masterclass in the definition of insanity. 208 BC, 10 years of war. You would think Rome had learned caution, but complacency is a slow killer. The two reigning consuls, Marcellus, known as the Sword of Rome, and his partner Crispinus, decide to go on a simple scouting mission. They bring a small escort. They ride up a wooded hill between the armies to get a better view. They fail to check the tree line. Hannibal's Numidian cavalry is waiting in the bushes. They charge. Marcellus is impaled on a spear and dies instantly. Crispinus escapes, only to die of his wounds days later. For the first time in the history of the Republic, Rome loses both heads of state in a single afternoon. Not in a grand battle, but in a bush, because they were too arrogant to send a scout. So how? How did Hannibal win 8 times, destroy 8 armies, kill the consuls, and still lose? The genius won the battles. The system won the war. Rome was built on discipline. If you have the discipline to learn from the past, signal your loyalty. Subscribe to the Legion. We march again soon.